people love sad stories. We say we want happiness, laughter, and comfort, but when we're scrolling late at night, when we click without thinking, when we lean in quietly, what do we really choose? We choose sadness. We choose heartbreak, tragedy, loss, and pain. And for a long time, I wondered why. Why do we listen to the same sad song 100 times? Spores. Why do we rewatch movies that completely destroy us? Why do we often prefer stories that make us cry rather than ones that make us smile? The answer, I've learned, isn't weakness. It's biology. Sadness makes us feel something deep, something real, something profoundly human. Think about it. Happiness is light. It floats on the surface. But sadness has weight. It anchors us, reminding us that we are alive, that we can feel. A neuroscientist once told me something I've never forgotten. The brain is addicted to emotional intensity, not positivity. It's a powerful idea, isn't it? Pain activates the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, releasing adrenaline that sharpens our memory and strengthens our focus. That's why we can remember every single detail of a heartbreak, the words said, the look on their face, the weather outside. But we often forget birthdays, casual laughter, or the specifics of a happy day. Intense emotions, even negative ones, carve themselves into our minds. There's more to it though. When we experience sad stories, our brains release oxytocin. You might know it as the love hormone, but it's also the hormone that creates empathy and bonding. We cry during a sad movie because we care. We care because we connect with the characters on screen, feeling their pain as if it were our own. And that connection is something human beings crave more than almost anything else in the world. It's a shared experience, a silent understanding that we are all part of the same emotional fabric. In a world that can feel incredibly isolating, these stories bridge the gap between us, reminding us that we're not alone in our feelings. But there is another reason, a slightly darker one, for our fascination with sorrow. Sad stories allow us to feel pain without the real-life consequences. When we watch a character lose everything, when we read about betrayal, death, failure, or heartbreak, we get to experience those intense emotions from a safe distance. We're protected by the screen, by the pages of a book. It's like we're practicing for suffering. We're testing our own emotional resilience, simulating trauma in a controlled environment. It's a rehearsal for our own inevitable tragedies. Because deep down, whether we admit it or not, we know that pain is a part of life. Sad stories prepare us for impact. They're like emotional flight simulators, training us to handle the turbulence when it arrives in our own lives. Years, I used to feel a bit ashamed that I was so drawn to sad narratives. I loved novels that ended in grief, movies with broken characters, and songs soaked in loss. I worried it meant that I was broken, that something inside me was fundamentally wrong. Why couldn't I just enjoy the happy-go-lucky stuff like everyone else seemed to? But then someone said something to me that changed my entire perspective. People who love sad stories are people who feel deeply, and people who feel deeply are the ones who survive the hardest things. That hit me hard. It wasn't about being broken, it was about having a greater capacity for empathy and emotion. Sad stories do something incredibly important. They remind us that we are not alone. They show us that someone else has felt exactly what we feel, cried the very same tears, and carried the same heavy weight on their shoulders. They give us a language for emotions that we sometimes don't know how to name. Have you ever felt a complex knot of feelings inside you, something you couldn't articulate? And then you read a line in a book or hear a lyric in a song, and you think, yes, that's it. That's exactly how I feel. That's the power of these stories. They validate our inner worlds. They teach us that humans break in, that humans heal in very similar ways. We see characters fall apart, and then, slowly, painstakingly, put themselves back together. And in their journey, we find a roadmap for our own. Most importantly, and perhaps counterintuitively, sad stories give us hope. But it's not the loud, cheerful, everything will be perfect kind of hope. It's a quiet, resilient, and much more realistic kind. It's the hope that pain, no matter how overwhelming, eventually ends. There. It's the hope that survival is possible, even when it feels impossible. It's the hope that even after the absolute worst day of your life, the sun will rise again. When a story takes us to the depths of despair and then shows us a flicker of light, a reason to keep going, that hope feels earned. It feels real. It's not a cheap promise. It's a testament to the strength of the human spirit. These stories aren't just about wallowing in misery, they are about catharsis. The ancient Greeks understood this. They built entire theaters for tragic plays. They knew that watching a tragedy unfold allows the audience to release their own pent-up emotions of pity and fear. It's a cleansing process. You go into the story carrying your own burdens, your own unspoken sadnesses. You connect with the characters, you cry with them and for them, and when the story ends, you feel lighter, you've purged some of your own sorrow in a safe and constructive way. It's an emotional workout, and just like a physical workout, you often feel better afterward, even if it was difficult in the moment. Think about the stories that have stayed with you the longest. Are they the ones with simple, happy endings, or are they the ones that challenged you, that made you think, that broke your heart a little? These stories that resonate most deeply are often the ones that reflect the complexities of real life. Life isn't always happy. It's a messy, beautiful, and often painful mix of joy and sorrow. Stories that ignore the sorrow feel incomplete, almost dishonest. But stories that embrace it, that look it straight in the eye, feel true. They honor our lived experiences. They acknowledge that there is beauty in the struggle and strength in vulnerability. So, why are humans so addicted to sad stories? It's not because we're masochists or pessimists, it's because sadness connects us, reminding us of our shared humanity. It's because pain transforms us, carving out new depths within us. It's because grief creates space for growth, clearing away the old to make way for the new. And it's because sometimes, the very story that breaks your heart is the same one that helps you put it back together, piece by piece. These stories aren't just entertainment. They are essential tools for navigating the human condition. They are maps, mirrors, and medicine for the soul. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what sad story has had the biggest impact on your life. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations into why we are the way we are. See you next time.